22 seconds remained. It was 4th and 10. The Pittsburgh Steelers were once contenders for the worst franchise in the NFL. But this one play sparked arguably the greatest dynasty of all time. 4 Super Bowls, 10 Hall of Famers. But can one play actually be responsible for shaping an entire decade of football? To find out, we need to understand how bad the Steelers were before this game. It was December 1972. The United States was still at war with Vietnam. Watergate was just starting to turn into a massive conspiracy. Apollo 17 had just returned to Earth, and the Pittsburgh Steelers hoped to escape 40 years of football futility.
If you knew the Steelers before he got here, we had never won anything, and I think we were pretty much of a joke.
You would get so depressed back in those days. I mean, you would just play your heart out and then lose the game in the fourth quarter. It was a scenario. It was time after time after time. And
there was a saying that I heard once that if there's a way for the Steelers to lose a game, same old Steelers, they'll lose the game.
Things began to change in 1969 when the Steelers hired Chuck Noll.
The first meeting with Chuck Noll, we had a lot of cynical, old, veteran players who'd seen a lot of coaches come and go, and there was, sort of this attitude, well, show me your stuff, coach. And he gave a speech which he essentially was saying to us, look, the reason you've been losing has nothing to do with your attitude. The reason you've been losing is you're not good enough.
So Noll spent the next few years building his team through the draft. By 1972, the foundation had been built. Rookie Franco Harris rushed for more than 1,000 yards, was named Offensive Rookie of the Year, and the Steel Curtain defense suffocated opponents, allowing the second fewest points that season. They finished with an 11-3 record and won their second ever division title. The Oakland Raiders, on the other hand, were already an NFL powerhouse.
But everything changed when the Raiders hired a 33-year-old assistant from San Diego. Recognized as the brightest young mind in the game, Al Davis took this shaky foundation of a team and constructed an immediate winner.
That success continued throughout the decade. From 1963 to 1972, the Raiders had the best win percentage in the NFL, but that hadn't translated into postseason success. While the two teams had faced each other in a Week 1 shootout, this game would be the complete opposite. With less than 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, the Steelers were hanging on to a 6-0 lead. Darryl LaMonica, derailed by the flu, had such a bad game, he had been subbed out for the inexperienced Ken Stabler. In his first major action in a playoff game, Stabler scrambled 30 yards for a touchdown with 1:13 remaining.
What do you say? 40 years. You have to understand, 40 years that the Steelers organization never won anything.
Steelers owner Art Rooney, accustomed to losing, left his suite and headed to the locker room to console his players. But the Steelers had one more play.
Full right split, 66, halfback option. Franco on 66 does not go out.
Yeah, because he stays in
and
block
and
66. The call 66 tells the tight end to stay in and block, tells the fullback to stay in and block, and in the play from the end zone, Franco doesn't block anybody.
The pocket collapsed almost immediately, forcing Bradshaw to scramble to his right. With 3 linemen barreling down on him, Bradshaw quickly fired a pass in the direction of John Fuqua. As he prepared to make the catch, Fuqua could hear footsteps nearby.
Tatum's shots sounded different. Most guys tackle, and you hear shoulder pad, there's a certain sound you make. But a Tatum tackle was like a car wreck.
Tatum could have gone for the ball and broken up the play, but that's not how he played football. As he collided with Fuqua, the ball went flying backwards. The question was, who touched it?
Rule 7, Section 5, Article 2, Item 1. The first player to touch the pass, he only continues to be eligible for A, in other words, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. As soon as the second player on his team touched the ball, incomplete pass. That's the end of it.
But nobody was thinking about this during the play.
Franco told me that his coach at Joe Paterno at Penn State has always told him when the quarterback throws the ball, run to the football.
I remember telling myself, go to the ball. Things happen.
You can throw a block, you can recover a fumble, but don't stand still.
Franco was very special from the standpoint that he never took a play off. He finished the play.
That moment sparked another controversy. Did the ball touch the ground before Harris caught it? With no definitive camera angle, it's difficult to answer.
Did the ball hit the ground before you plucked it out of the air?
I can't say. My mind is completely blank.
Really?
No, I saw that. Franco made a great catch.
After a brief moment of celebration, the Raiders realized Harris has the ball. Phil Villapiano had an opportunity to make the tackle before he was allegedly clipped.
If it wasn't for that clip, I think I'd make that play, and we have no Immaculate Reception.
The only man left that could stop Harris was defensive back Jimmy Warren. But Harris was too fast and was able to push Warren off as he ran into the end zone with 5 seconds remaining. While the back judge signaled it was a touchdown, the other officials weren't sure. John Madden stormed onto the field in a complete frenzy. The refs sent him away as they spent the next 15 minutes making a decision. During this time, one of the refs put in a call to the NFL supervisor of officials, Art McNally. Some have speculated the refs were checking with McNally using instant replay to confirm whether it was a touchdown. There is no evidence this is what was discussed, but right after the call, a touchdown was signaled. It would be the first postseason touchdown ever scored in Steelers franchise history. The crowd stormed the field. 40 years of Steelers futility finally over in one play. Because of the controversies associated with the play, it's largely responsible for one of the most heated rivalries in NFL history.
And the Steeler-Raider rivalry started right there. It started right there because they felt we robbed them of an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. And if I was on their side, I'd have felt the same way. So every time we played, Oakland was just brutal.
And while the Steelers would lose in the AFC Championship game against the undefeated Miami Dolphins, the Immaculate Reception marked the turning point in franchise history.
I mean, this is simply this play that you see, Bradshaw, 4th down, the great call by Kirk Gowdy and Aldi Regattas. This play started the Steelers.
Was the Immaculate Reception the kickstarter to the dynasty thing?
Oh, absolutely.
The Steelers would go on to define what I believe was the golden era of the NFL. If you want to learn more about how good the 70s really was, you can check out this video here.